welcome to this moment. Welcome to episode 108 of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. We're talking about shining brightly, aligning your body and soul for stronger relationships. So, this is a topic that is really important, especially for you working mamas out there. And how you know when you are focused on your goals, your projects, and you're trying to also bring balance within your home, and you're on a health journey, trying to reverse or at least manage
healing journey.
Some sort of autoimmune condition. It can be very challenging to manage all of the things, especially when you're on a on a path of looking to be consistent long term. So today what we're going to get into is something that I think is very important, and that I'm sure that you'll glean some gems from, and we love to hear from you, whether you're watching the replay or you're watching live, what your stories are, and just to connect with y'all as well, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So episode 108, I'm Coach Soul.
I'm Coach Tensi.
We are Ufulu Child. Let's kind of get things underway. So first thing I think, and easiest thing to understand is the importance of proper alignment in connection with movement practices. For those of you who don't know, this podcast follows our patented 5-prong healing system called the Freedom 5, which consists of be, cleanse, fuel, move, and shine. Today is Friday, so it's Shine Day, but we didn't do one yesterday. So it's Move and Shine Day. And the movement topic is proper alignment, proper form is, for those of you who do fitness out there, that's what we're talking about, proper form, proper alignment. And the reason we use the word alignment here at Ufulu Child is because your spine is like central to your form. Whether your spine is bent, forward, backs, or sideways, or your spine is supposed to be straight. How to say natural curvature, right? Your spine is never supposed to be like board straight. But regardless, your spine is like central. And so aligning your body and aligning, all of that is very related to your core, and how your core and your pelvis and your shoulders, all connected via your spine, is related, so that you don't injure one of the easiest things on the human body to injure, which is your neck and the connection between your head and your shoulders. So
and this is more than that too. So if you experience joint pain, it's great for that. Say knee pain, wrist pain with all of the computer work that you are likely doing. Me too. And any sort of pains from an injury that you might have had. Maybe it was back in the day, but some of the signs and symptoms of it still surface at times. Whatever it is.
Yep. So some basics, girl. You better. Some basics of good posture basically deal with not putting pressure on the wrong places. So we can go through some tips. For instance, when you're sitting, as you can see, we're both sitting up straight is key. Now we're sitting on a chair that doesn't have a back, so we're forced to sit up straight. But, let's say your chair has a back, and that back allows you to lean back. making sure that you're sitting up straight is a long-term yet easy to miss tactic you can employ to ensure a proper seated position where your spine is in a natural curvature. It's natural curves only, and there's no potential for slouch to lead to pain, for like a slouch this way or a slouch this way to lead to pain anywhere in your body. Then there's standing. Usually, when we're standing, we have our feet out a little bit. And a good tip, something to practice that I didn't even know about until I started getting into yoga, is to stand, and it feels like your heels are out a little bit, but actually you're standing so that the outsides of your feet are parallel with each other, and your feet are pointing straight ahead.
What does that do?
That that adjusts the alignment of your hips and the line that goes from your, the back tendon, your Achilles, your heel, all the way through your shoulders, and you know if you follow the triangle up through the top of your head, and protects those hip joints, and protects your back, like especially if you're standing and you're holding something, you're holding some extra weight, or you're standing for long periods of time. It protects your joints and your ball joints and your hips from putting pressure on the wrong places, leading to fluids not moving the right way and all of that. And then during movement, during walking, any type of movement, running, hiking, whatever, biking, the way to think about it is keeping, unless the movement calls for something else. So I mean, relatively speaking, keeping the outsides of your feet parallel with each other every, forward step or back step, or forward bending or whatever it is, back bending, keeping the outsides of your feet parallel to protect the same joints that we just talked about. And
something I want to interject a little something, because this is stuff that is it could either be on one side where it's a bit much to remember for someone that doesn't do this, or it could be on the other side where they're already doing that. So how do they take it up a notch? So, hey sweetie, what's up? What's up, bro? This is our daughter, Omi. There's 3 points of alignment. If you just bring your focus to 3 points in your body, if you just bring your awareness to 3 points in the body, and I'm just gonna stand up, then that will help make it a little easier for you to actually have the result of proper alignment, proper form, no matter what sort of movement you're doing. There tends to just be 3 areas of the body, 3 points. Bring your awareness to those 3, and you're set. So starting from the bottom up, always, just like you're building a house, you always start with the foundation, make sure that's solid, and then work your way up. So if you're standing, you start with the feet. If you're sitting, you start with whatever's closest to the earth, right? So that would be your sit bones. So there's these bones in the base of your bottom, okay? And if we're starting with your feet, right, or your sit bones, we're just focusing on that first point to make sure that we're grounded in whatever is closest to the floor, whatever is grounded, rooted on the floor. It could be either, say, if you're in some sort of laying down posture, then I still want you to bring your awareness to your feet because they will likely be touching as well, and your sit bones. And if you are standing, then you just want to bring your awareness to activate the corners. Activate the corners of your feet. So that would be the heel. Thank you. The ball of your feet and the space right up under the pinky toe. So right up under right up under the big toe, pinky toe, and heel. Bringing your awareness to that point. The next big point to bring your awareness to would be bringing it up all the way into your belly button, right? So noticing what it feels like when you start to bring your attention to drawing your belly button toward your spine. So there's like a natural little tilt in the pelvis that happens, and there's like a little releasing in the lower back that also happens. You're starting to take the weight out from your lower back and focus in on strengthening your core. Yeah, you good, sweetie. I'm trying to go back to sleep. I got you.
I don't think she's trying to go back to sleep.
She's trying to play. Well, there's only one other point of alignment. Oh, hey, girl. Oh, girl. You okay? And that would be your collarbone. So you have your feet, your belly button, and your collarbone. And with the collarbone, you're just bringing your awareness to expanding the space in your collarbone so that you can actually begin to release the shoulders away from the ears. You're also beginning to open up the heart space, and naturally your shoulder blades get drawn a little bit closer to one another. So those are the 3 points, and if you bring your attention to those 3, then you'll start to notice that you are feeling more grounded, more sure, that you're more easily able to align. And we got a little soundtrack hype baby.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to share those, and we're gonna go for a little walk while Coach Soul takes it away. Facebook, we need to see you.
Okay. When she sleeps good through the night, she's ready in the morning for the funsies. Okay. So next thing we want to get into, and just a short review, just in case that felt really spread out for you guys, and it was an attempt to make things simple. She named 3 points of alignment, which is the foundation, the core, and the collarbone. Foundation being either your feet or your sit bones or your knees, if you're on your knees, whatever is closest to the ground. The core being your ability to bring your belly button toward your spine and give a natural tilt this way, natural forward tilt to the hips to lengthen the spine. So the core, and then the collarbone. 3 points of alignment. And then everything that I mentioned as far as, your feet being parallel to each other and you protecting those ball joints. And then the same goes for if you're in some sort of push-up position where, you're forward, you want to have the outsides of your hands parallel with each other if the position calls for it. Of course, there's a lot more flexibility and room for tilting this way and that way because we're not walking on our hands. And so, your hands can be out and there's no super duper risk to your joints because we're not going to stay there for long. moving on to the next topic, which is the shine topic, which is aligning with the source of all things, the creator, the spiritual essence of existence, for strengthening your self and strengthening your relationships. For those of you who don't know what it means to shine, when we say shine, shine is an acronym for sharing honest, insightful, nourishing expressions. Sharing honest, insightful, and nourishing expressions, which means to live a life of the example. Right? Be the example of truth, be the example of love, be the example of service, be the example of humility when it's called for, be the example of strength and warrior when it's called for. Be the example for your family, which leads your family to be the example for your community. And you do that with honesty, insight, knowledge, and nourishment. So sharing honest, insightful, and nourishing expressions. And how that aligns with spiritual connection, it empowers you to be authentic with people, right? When you are on a healing journey to be in alignment with what the highest, most powerful, most original, most natural force wants you to align with, then what you are healing is you're able to remove from your personality traits, you're able to remove from your bad habits that which is not aligned with the best version of your own self. Right? We talk a lot about how the essence of the self is the essence of the one, okay, the creator, the source, God, if you will. The essence of it is the same. And so, first things first, minute to minute practices that connect you with the creator. Okay? If you want to be effective at something, you do it every day. If you want to be really effective, you do it a bunch of times a day. So I say, for the most important thing, which is your connection to the creator, minute to minute practices. For me, it's just, 5 seconds of acknowledgement. All you need is a good 5 seconds, a good 3 seconds every minute. Internal it's some, and that's a little bit of an exaggeration of time. You need about a third of 1 second, okay, to acknowledge and to remember and to recognize and to move from a place of recognition of your connection to all things. Or you could say your connection to God if you want to, if it feels better for you for right now to externalize that power, but you feel the call to externalize it from a good and authentic place, and you want to connect with that which is good in the world, then by all means, just be careful, but do it. It's fine. And your connection with the creator, your connection with the generator of all things and maintainer, if you will, of all stories, and keeper of all souls. Um, that connection is sustained with constant, or at least consistent, acknowledgement of its presence within you. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. You acknowledge, you recognize, and you move from a place of recognition of the connection between you and the creator, however you look at said creator. And this impacts your relationships. It impacts it positively by introducing the most authentic you to your interactions with those who you have relationships with, friendly relationships, romantic relationships, community-based relationships, work-related relationships. Your authentic self is brought to the forefront more and more the more you are in relationship with the creator. Okay, and so you want to be able to bridge the body and the spirit, bridge connection between the body and the spirit, physical alignment in your day-to-day work, physical alignment in your yoga or fitness practices, physical alignment in your walks and your hikes and your bike rides is strengthened when um, spiritual connection is brought into the physical connection, meaning when you're able to, in your brain, in your mind, associate proper alignment with spiritual alignment, and you notice how when you do that, you become more aware and more intentional about your, proper physical alignment, then that also can ripple out and allow you to, in conversation, have a desire to align yourself in that conversation more and more with spirit, and in your work and in like how you use your hands to do your work, or the words that you put in your emails, or whatever it is that you're doing, to sustain your financial health, or your projects. Introducing your not introducing your authentic self via your connection with the spiritual essence of the thing and of yourself is the way, right? Your authentic self is the way. And what is this? Sorry, I'm moving something on the screen. There we go. And then you're able to shine more effortlessly on your communities, right? You're able to bring honest and insightful and nourishing expressions into the community. So, a good way to kind of get this going in your everyday life is starting out, in the morning with an alignment. So when you get up out of bed, before you turn around to make the bed, or before you make it to the restroom, or maybe after you make it to the restroom, depending on how bad you have to go, um, standing in physical alignment and inviting spiritual alignment into your day and into your connection with all things, right? Or your connection with God, like I said, if you want to more so externalize. Just be careful. So things that we already talked about, right? Your outsides of your feet are parallel, your shoulders are relaxed, your core, you're bringing your belly button towards your spine very gently. You're not locking out your knees, and just for 1 minute, being in proper alignment and connecting spiritually to spiritual alignment, right? There's also a lot of different gratitude practices, like gratitude journaling, or just saying things that you're grateful for in the morning. You can do so with your family at the breakfast table. You can do so just by yourself in your journal, in your meditation practice. You can do so with your spouse, and you guys are out on your balcony in your apartment or a condo, and you have a balcony, and you just go out to the balcony every morning, and for 3 to 5 minutes, be in gratitude with each other. lots and lots of different things to align your spirit and align your emotional body, pardon me, and align your routine with the spiritual essence of who you really are, inviting your authentic self, which sometimes we like to hide away in light of an opportunity to bring our inauthentic self, our mask, to the forefront for various things. But starting the day off with your authentic self may open the door, especially if you do so consistently, to bringing your authentic self in more and more spaces out in the real world, which um, is really more so akin to the Matrix. And then into your relationships. And that's pretty much all we have for you today. We will see you guys on Monday for B Day, Be, Cleanse, Fuel, Move, Shine. Thank you for tuning in to the 108th episode of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Coach Soul. Our celebrity guest, Omi, our daughter, has taken Coach Tensi to another room. But I thank you for hanging out with me for a second. While we're hanging out, I just want to remind you guys, get yourself a copy of Culture Control, written by me, yours truly, Soul Expression. You can find it on the Lulu bookstore. Culture Control, Why the Love of Money is Objectively the Root of All Evil. A wonderful, wonderful book that can open your eyes to where you have been most influenced to do things that probably don't make sense to you if they're broken down, why that influence is so sticky on the inside, and what you can start to do on a regular basis to free yourself from bad influences, as well as why money may not be what you want to put at the top of your list of what you desire and what you yearn for all the time. Okay. And other than that, we do have an event called Thrive Zone happening January 18th. And we will most likely have the link for that dropping very, very soon. Let's say maybe by next Shine Day, by next Friday, you'll be able to get your early bird tickets and then eventually regular general admission tickets to that. There will only be, I think, 25 tickets available, maybe 30. We'll let you know more details when that is officially dropped. But Thrive Zone is going to be an amazing event. We're going to have a concert. We're going to have art making. We're going to have art watching. We're going to have a workshop related to being your authentic self and recognizing some of the influences that may have steered you away from your authentic self, as well as seeking truth, but seeking truth intelligently and not haphazardly. We're going to have a space for your children to play and to make art and have fun and be guided and dance and in an art wall, all of that fun stuff, all in one, very organized and cohesive space called Thrive Zone. And I can't wait to see you all there. If you're in Austin, Texas, or you want to travel to Austin, Texas to come meet us there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.